first proper dirt ride since I fractured my spine 7 months ago. This is the second half of the ride. So I'm not really meant to be riding yet, but the guys said they would take it easy on me. So of course they take me into the gnarliest terrain they can find, because they will find it hilarious if I wind up in hospital again. Who needs enemies with friends like these? I am sitting and leg paddling the whole time to minimise the chances of falling off. It makes this rocky terrain a lot harder to ride. There must be safer ways to be a hero.
The longest office chair train pulled by a motorbike. Students in the Netherlands lined up 22 office chairs to be towed by a vintage Yamaha scrambler.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to play it safe through here.
Let's see how Jeff handles this. No rushing, he checks for the best line before moving. Weighting the rear, then throws his body forward. Standing and leg paddling. Pivot turns are your best friend in rocks. At least one leg is always keeping weight on the foot peg. Minimising wheel spin. Careful placement of the feet.
Nicely done. Yeah, that's good.
Now let's watch me do the complete opposite.
Something's holding her.
I am being super careful. My spine fracture is now 80% healed. There is no danger of paralysis, but a bad fall could undo some of the 7 months healing.
Just hard to see what I'm doing. Yeah. So I can get up onto that.
Jeff offers to film me doing this section. Checking for loose rocks near the rear wheel. I could weight the bike better by standing, but I have to make do with staying on the seat. A seat bounce. No good. This time a seat bounce, but throwing my weight forward too.
Amazingly, he did that without falling off.
The back is starting to get a bit sore now, but thankfully we are over halfway through. It should be okay.
He almost loses it. There's no foot, there's no ground.
Despite the occasional groan, I am having the time of my life. The past 7 months, I forgot how much fun it is to dirt ride. And it's a kick-ass track too. I am almost looking forward to the next horror obstacle. We didn't measure the length of the track, but later we figured our average speed was probably less than 1 kilometre per hour. Possibly the slowest ride I have ever done.
Give a turn.
The rear end's feeling a bit loose. Might be time to see the mechanic.
Gee, Mr. Euro Enduro dealer, I'm really hoping you can help me with the loose rear end I was experiencing yesterday.
I think I can help. And cough.
To stay close behind Scott and film him, but his evil smelling pumpkin is blowing so much smoke it gets me nauseous.
Woo.
Something we never noticed with the beta oil injection, and I figure the TPI on more recent KTMs is probably the same. Minimal smoke. After the nasty rocky shit in the previous vid, this stuff almost feels like a highway, but I'm sure there is more snotty terrain before we finish. What's that smoke screen up ahead? Why, it's Scott and his smoky pumpkin. I think Scott must be running a 10-to-1 oil mix. Nice work, Scotty. A minimum of wheel spin, as always. Bugger, here is the next snotty bit. The back is actually starting to hurt now, and all this constant looking down is only making it worse. Very tight pivot turn here.
Too out of breath.
I don't like this bit at all. Normally, not a worry, but I am very concerned about an awkward fall that could twist the spine. Best to play it safe and find some gullible muppet willing to ride my bike through. I wonder who.
Yeah, she's about to slide down, I think. Hang on. There we go. Beauty. Thanks, mate. As long as she just sits for a moment. I think the foot peg's digging in. My spotters, these guys charge like a wounded bull for this shit.
Ben is about to use a very handy technique here, the static zap. Let's see him make an absolute mess of it. And now, part of our training vid about static zaps. The static zap. Very useful for getting over obstacles on steep uphill climbs. The key, body weight to the rear, throw your body forward and do a precisely timed drop of the clutch. Riders like Ruben and Tim make the static zap look so easy, the bastards. Ben lets his clutch out until it's just starting to engage. He puts his body weight right to the rear of the bike. As he throws his body weight forward and up, a split second later, he does a controlled drop of the clutch. And then pulls the clutch in to avoid a runaway bike or a backflip. Ben is understandably nervous. If he crashes my bike, I will perform a vasectomy on him using rusty pliers. Watch the timing. The clutch is released just after his body moves forward. This weights the rear wheel for traction, provides forward momentum, and prevents the bike going into a wheelie. Ah well, no vasectomy for Ben today. Our final section, and good timing. The back is actually getting quite painful now.
Pivot turns.
I have to be very careful with the pivot turns. I can't afford to fall down the slope. If you are interested in how to get up slopes using pivot turns, see our training vid, how to do switchback climbs.
Not enough momentum.
With excellent tips from Tim Coleman himself.
Bugger. Being too cautious.
This has been a really interesting experience with having to sit down the entire ride. It was very limiting, but it made me realise if you take your time, pick your lines carefully, use all your traction tips, you can still get through. Encouraging news for shorter riders or guys just starting to ride technical terrain. And despite the back pain, I am grinning like mad with my first dirt ride in 7 months. It's so good to be back.